From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Want a Northway Bank teller to keep in your pocket? There's an app for that. Now available for iPhone and Android. Download yours today. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. The state fire marshal says last month's fatal home fire in Tuftonboro was started by hot ashes and coals from a wood stove that weren't properly disposed of. Bill Degnan, Tuftonboro Fire Chief Adam Thompson, and Tuftonboro Police Chief Andrew Shigori say their joint investigation has determined Deborah Carey died of smoke inhalation from the fire that broke out around 2 o'clock in the morning, November 16th, at her home at 34 Barber Pole Road. She and her husband, Richard Carey, woke up because of the fire, and while Richard went out to try to put the fire out, Deborah stayed inside the house and tried to retrieve some items. Degnan says Richard Carey was able to escape from the house, and investigators found his wife's body inside it after the fire was put out. Deborah Carey was a popular member of the community, a talented weaver, and a member of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship Church in Tamworth. She's remembered fondly by the Reverend Mary Eads, who says she was dearly loved by members of the congregation. North Conway Fire Chief Pat Priest says a brush fire that broke out on west side of North Conway last Friday morning was also caused by wood ashes that were not properly disposed of. No one was hurt in that incident, but the fire did spread to about a half acre, and 2 homes were threatened by it. Degnan urges people to use caution when discarding ashes and coals from any stove, and says non-combustible containers should be used and placed in non-combustible areas away from structures. He also urges people to make sure you have working smoke detectors and an exit strategy from your home. He also recommends calling 911 immediately if you discover a fire and that you not try to fight it yourself. New Hampshire's legislature is being sworn in and electing leaders for the House and Senate for the next 2 years. Democratic Representative Terry Norelli of Portsmouth is expected to be elected House Speaker today, while Republican Senator Peter Bragdon of Milford has the votes to retain his position as president of the Senate. Democrats took control of the House in the November 6th election. They hold 219 of the 400 seats to 178 by Republicans. There are 2 vacancies due to resignations. Democrats gained seats in the Senate, but not enough to take control. Republicans hold a 13-11 majority there. In Maine news, the newly elected Maine legislature, now back under Democratic control, is starting business for the 2013-14 session. This morning, Republican Governor Paul LePage will administer the oath of office to the representatives and senators who were elected last month. Democrats won back majorities in the House and Senate, which were in Republican hands for the last 2 years. In a series of largely ceremonial events, the new lawmakers will elect their presiding officers and later the Attorney General, Secretary of State, Treasurer, and Auditor. In sports, UMass topped Northeastern 72-66 last night. Wesley Saunders added 18 to lead Harvard to a 79-63 win over BC. Number 25, North Carolina State beat Connecticut 69-65. And free agent outfielder Shane Victorino has agreed to a 3-year contract worth $39 million with the Boston Red Sox. In the weather today, mostly cloudy with a chance of rain showers, highs in the lower 40s, northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, colder with lows 14 to 20, northwest winds 10 to 15, and mostly sunny on Thursday, highs in the upper 30s. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.